Hello everyone, welcome to the introduction session of the software Revit MEP. Today we will be learning and discussing about what the software is all about and what we are going to be studying in the duration of this course. So let's start the session. So day 1, introduction to the software. So Revit basically means revise instantly. So this is not a norm that is decided by Autodesk or the company that made it. It is internationally known as revise instantly because once you create an object in a particular view, it is automatically created in other views also. So this feature is known as bidirectional associativity, and this is a key BIM software that is primarily used for BIM modeling. So the module that we are studying today is MEP, and MEP is a bit outdated. Now we call it MEPF, and the MEPF stands for Mechanical, Electrical, Plumbing and Firefighting. So basically there are six disciplines in Revit: architecture, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, firefighting and structure. So you can work on any of these disciplines. So when we talk about MEP, so the MEP industry works independently as compared to architecture and structure. So this module is created so that you can understand and study how the mechanical, electrical and plumbing parts are created, placed, and the systems are created for your better understanding. Moving on, what will you accomplish after you are done learning this course? If you go to the mechanical aspects of this course, you will be learning about the HVAC, that is heat ventilation and air conditioning, about ducting, how to place ducts, air terminals, how to place air terminals and connect them to ducts, equipments. Here we are talking about the mechanical equipments, multiple AHU systems, supply system, return system, and duct layouts, how to create layouts of the ducts. If you talk about the electrical aspect of the software, we will be studying the lighting fixtures, switches, and connecting the lights with the switches, cable trays, conduits, and the electrical equipments that we will be placing and connecting in the project. Switching systems, which will be made by connecting the switches and the lights, power systems, and the layouts for the cable trays as well as conduits. If we talk about the plumbing aspect, then we will be studying the pipes, equipments, fixtures, plumbing accessories, what is the difference between all these three, supply system, drainage system, and sewage system, and what is the difference between these three systems. And finally, we will be discussing how to create pipe layouts. Next, we go on to the firefighting part of the course. Here, we will be studying how to place sprinklers, how to give them connections with the pipes and the alarms, how to place equipments like alarms, hose, reels, etc. How to finally create a system out of all these equipments and sprinklers, and finally, how to create a piping layout for the firefighting plan. Next, we will be studying about the schedules and sheets of all the equipments that have been used in the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and firefighting. And finally, we will be placing all the views of different disciplines on different sheets. So, these are all the topics that you will be studying in the course from here on. Next, how to start a new project. So this is a crucial part, and before this, let me just give you a quick demonstration of what we will be studying and what it will look like. So this is the software and this is the model. This is a sample model that we created for your better understanding of what the software is capable of. So here, the building in study is the building that is not grayed out. The grayed out buildings in the sites are the buildings that we are not studying. They just add, like we are not creating a building into thin air. So the building that we are studying is the building that is in the middle. So we don't have to go into such great depths to study MEP. Let me just pan it a bit. These files might be looking a little hefty. This is because they are. And if you want to create such heavy models, you will want to switch to a system with a higher configuration. So now let's zoom in, and this is the building that we will be studying. Here are some water bodies, some landscaping, some neighboring buildings, and this is the building that we will be studying as an example in between the course. So to give you a better example, because all the exterior work is of architecture discipline over here, so we will not be creating architecture models over here. So to give you a better view of what we will be doing, we have another sample that is over here. Okay, so in this model, if we zoom out, we can see the architecture model is of minimalistic nature. And if we zoom in, we can see all the three disciplines, that is the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, all present over here. You can see the mechanical ducts, flexible ducts, the round ducts, the rectangular ducts. We go to the electrical part, we have the lights, switches, and the circuit breakers. And if you go to the plumbing part, we have water tank over here, a heater over here. We will be able to find some sinks over here also. Okay, let's just rotate it. And here we have sinks, WCs, and water pumps and the drainage layouts. So this was an example of what we will be studying and what it will look like after we are done, finished with this course. So hopefully you got a better review and an overview of what we are about to do. So let's go to the presentation, and the topic was starting a new project. So how to start a new project? The project that we are going to make will be of extension .rvt, and it is created using project template that is of extension .rte. So how do we open it and how do we find these files? Let me just show you. So when you open the software, it will look something like this. We go to the file menu and we go to the new tab. Once you go to the new tab, you go to the type selector over here, drop down menu that is present over here, and you select default systems metric. Okay, so how do we get this file over here? You go to browse, you might not find this file in this location in particular, so we will want to go to browse, and particularly in this location, that is C drive, and in that program data, and in it Autodesk, and in that Revit 2026, that is the version that we have installed in our system. So whichever version you have installed, you will find the folder named over here. In that we will want to go to templates, and then let's just go to Revit 2026, and over here you can find all the libraries, templates, family templates, etc. that you will be using in your duration of the course. We will go to the templates, and we want the English template, and if you want to work in inches and feet, you can choose the imperial templates, and if you want to work in the and meters, you can choose the normal English template, that is the SI unit system. So here you will find default metric. This is the most commonly used template, but this template is used when you are making a architectural model. Here we are studying the MEP part of the software. So here are mechanical templates, plumbing templates, and electrical templates. Basically M, E, and P. The plumbing will work in the firefighting will work in the plumbing template only. So there is no firefighting template as such. but we want to study all of these disciplines all together. So we select the system's default template. So if you select the electrical template, the mechanical parts will not work in that, and so on. So if you are choosing that plumbing template, only the plumbing parts of the software will be active and work properly in this template. So if we want plumbing, electrical and mechanical, all three aspects of the software to work in accordance, we will have to select systems default metric. So this is the file that we are looking for, systems default and metric. Be sure to select the right template, because if you select the wrong template, this will cause a lot of problem when you open the file. Okay, we just cancel it because we have set up the template over right here. Okay, let's select this one. Okay, back to the topic. Next is the user interface. So here you can see the user interface consists of file menu, tabs, ribbons, panels. In between here are tools that we'll be using to model and analyze our model. Quick access toolbar, title bar, info center, contextual tab, options bar, properties palette, project browser, view control bar and status bar. So in accordance to the name of the areas that are marked up over here, you can see that it will be working accordingly. So the status bar shows the current status of the software, that which command you are into and what information is required next and so on. Options bar shows you all the options related to any command that you get into. Properties palette shows the properties of anything that is selected, and all the views, plans, sections and elevations are showed in the project browser. Okay, so we will start the software and we will go to systems default metric and select OK. Here we are opening a blank project. Just to make you understand the user interface and get you familiar with the user interface. Okay, this is what the software will look like, and you might find that the project browser is docked something like this. Now we want the properties and the project browser to be accessible and visible on the whole. So what we will do is we will undock the properties browser from here and dock it to the right side like so. Make sure to be going all the way to the right. This is the docking. You can see it as a blue transparent part. If you don't dock it, it will simply float in the air like this. We don't want that. So we will be dragging it to the far right of the screen and dropping it, and then you will have a perfect view. So here, as we discussed, you have the view control toolbar, the options bar over here, tabs, ribbons and panels. You can remember it as T, R and P. Tabs, ribbons and panels. In between there are tools. Here are the different tabs. We will be working on systems, which contains all the mechanical, electrical and plumbing parts of the software. Over here is the quick access toolbar. Here are the properties. On the right side there are project browser, which contains all the plans, ceiling plans, elevations, etc. Okay. In the middle, we have the workspace in which we will be creating our models. So this was our introduction session for the software Revit MEP. Hopefully you got something new to learn today and you enjoyed the session. Thank you for joining.